Hello everyone, thanks again for a great season last season. This video is to help you learn how to lay your own track. Also talks about some of the more important points of tracking, and also will show you tracer on a couple of tracks and watching for loss of scent, what to expect when a dog is corner searching, and how to properly hold your body. It's basically kind of the bird's eye view of what it should look like when you're tracking your dog. I know most of the videos that I show you are from the side, because they are other people, but sometimes I think it's helpful to show the view that you're seeing with your dog. So I just wanted to share some of the ideas for you, just to help you guys practice and things like that, but otherwise we are looking forward to a great next season. The topic here is how to lay your own track and how to line things up so that you have relatively straight lines. So we have to sight some things out in the distance here. Now you can see up ahead there's the electrical tower there, and now can you see that there is a yellow pole down at the base of that? So now that center line that's going up the middle of the tower pole, what we can do is we can take a few steps over, and now that yellow pole is lined up exactly with the center of the electrical pole. So this is going to be our first leg. We're just going to make a 2-corner track here. Zoom back out. So I have my flags, I have my sight, and we're going to start laying our first leg. So if you have read the rules for either AKC or ASCA, you know that you have to walk a minimum of 10 yards in as a track layer. And as a judge plotting it, you have to have at least 10 yards before the first flag goes in. So if you remember, you have a 30-yard flag, so you have at least 10 yards before the flag and 30 yards to the second flag. So you have a free 40 yards right there to help line up your dog. So we're going to walk in probably about 15 yards here. Okay, so I've walked 15 yards in, just plain walking. And as you can see, my yellow is still lined up with the center of the power pole. So when I'm walking, I'm looking ahead at my straight line. Okay, so we're going to put our first flag in here. And we're going to put our start article. So there's my first flag and a start article. So now I'm going to reline up my sight line out there, and I'm going to walk 30 yards. Here we are at 30 yards. Put in my second flag. We're going to walk just a little bit farther. All right, we're going to make this a short track. But as you can see, my yellow pole is still lined up. So we're going to make a corner here and make a left-hand turn. So now to line a few things up here, we have a stump in the field, and then if we follow that up the tree line, it's going to, if you're counting, well, it's the middle tree here. So the base of the stump is going to line up with that tree trunk of the middle tree of that grouping there. Okay, so we're just going to do a short leg there. Zoom out. We're just going to make this an extra short track. It's because this is just for about track laying and not actually about tracking the dog. Okay, so let's say that we've walked, 50, 70, 100 yards, maybe only 15 yards if you have a beginner dog. But you can see that my stump still lines up with that same tree. We're looking at the tree in the middle. Let's see, kind of in the middle. So counting from the right, counting from the right, 1, 2, 3. Go down the trunk, and there's our stump. Okay, so we're going to put in another flag. And we're going to make, that was a right-hand turn, we're going to make a left-hand turn. And so now there's really nothing to line up with, but that is okay, because we are going to go to the tree there that's on the end, that last deciduous tree. So there's the tall deciduous tree on the right. We're going to go to the short deciduous tree on the left, and there's nothing really in the foreground to line it up with, but that is okay. We just want to keep a relatively straight line. So we're going to look ahead, and we're going to walk. Okay, so let's just say that we walked a long distance or whatever is appropriate for our dog, and we're going to lay our glove down in the grass, and we are going to put 2 flags about 3 steps past the glove. I'm going to put them in so that it looks like 2 flags, and we have our glove right behind us there. We're going to walk out a minimum of 30 yards. This is something that you should do to make sure that your dog, your track does not end on a corner. So you should never turn off after putting the glove down. You should always stay straight on your line, and we are still heading towards that deciduous tree on the left. So something we don't talk enough about is giving your dog water, both before and on the track. So I always carry a bottle of water, especially if I'm doing extensive work with my dog. If I'm doing just a short track, then I don't worry about carrying water, but certainly I do carry water a lot. So we have Tracer in his crate, and I have some cookies, and all I do right before I get my dog out is I just throw a cookie in the water, because I just want my dog just to moisten their lips. I don't necessarily need them to actually drink. As you can see, it's kind of like bobbing for apples. So I just like to get their mucous membranes and their nose wet beforehand, and so that's a really quick and easy way of doing it. Here we are back at the track. Tracer is ready to run his track. He's got his harness. We'll just need to put it on. So at the start of the track here, so here we are back at the beginning. There's our start flag right there. And you can see, let's see, our 30-yard flag is a little bit hard to see here, but there's so here's our first flag, our 30-yard flag, and our corner flag. And if we line them all up, see, we kind of lose sight of my 30-yard flag behind a clump of grass, but we have our first flag, our second flag is behind a clump of grass, and then our corner flag. And for the most part, that lines up pretty well with our yellow post out there in the center of our tower. And of course, it's not absolutely perfect. It's actually really hard to get it perfectly perfect. But anything in a reasonable, there's our 30-yard flag. Anything that's in a reasonable, pretty straight line is good enough. So we just need to make sure that we have, reasonably straight lines and that we're not weaving all over the place. So this is a good start right here. All right, so we're getting ready to run. We want to make sure that our line is completely untangled. There's no knots in the line at all. This is very important because having a tangled line can really interfere with your handling. So please make sure that your line is untangled before you start. We've got Tracer here in his harness. My leash is still on his collar. So again, before starting, we're going to transfer the leash from the collar to the harness. And we're going to give our dog command. So we're going to line up our, hold on, Twesa. We're going to line up our flags so that I can walk my dog in at the minimum of 10 yards before the first flag so he can start tracking before. And I know. So that way we give our dog the best opportunity for starting. Now you have to remember that you have to be 20 feet behind your dog on the line as you pass the first flag. Okay, Trace, we got a dog coming. Let's go find it. My dog is leading out. He's already tracking. I wait back here until my dog has committed. He's going to have a bit of a slow start. This is a pretty hot track for him. And this is all fine and normal. I am staying back here. I'm not going to talk to my dog at all. He's got a couple people and another dog behind him, so it's a little distracting. So there my dog goes. He's committed. I am 20 feet behind the line, picking up my start article. We come up to the 30-yard flag. And he's exactly on the track. Both of my hands are on the line, so my body is centered towards the dog. My shoulders are square to my dog. Loss of scent. Search, search. I stay where I am. I see him committing, and we're going. Loss of scent. He's got it. I'm following through. I'm giving line. There it is. Just like that. Super fast. Good job, Trace. What you got? What you got, Trace? And now, no matter how short your track is, always highly reward your dog. Isn't that right, Tracer? Good job. This can be an exercise for some of my more advanced students. This is doing an offline start. That means that you don't line the dog up in the direction of the track before the flag. This means that the dog has to approach the flag on its own and choose the correct direction and commit to the correct direction. Now, many times people will walk up to the first flag with their dog. That's not usually how I like to start my dog. I like to watch my dog go to the flag independently, make a decision on their own, and then tell me when they're ready to track. And so people often ask me if dogs know the direction of the track without you helping them, and they most absolutely do. Dogs do definitely know the direction of the track because literally one footstep smells different than the next footstep. So what I do is I will allow my dog to go up to the flag. They will catch scent. And what I will do is I will let the dog commit. I'll let them go a couple of yards. There's Tracer getting ready. He already sees his flag from there. And so I let the dog go up to there. I let the dog commit, and he commits right away to the direction. I feed line, and then as soon as I know he's committed, I start to pull in behind him, and I pick up my start article. And then we're on our way. Tracer is exactly on the track. And my hands are out in front of me so that my shoulders are square to the dog. You can see Tracer is on the track and the line is down his back, and we are following through. As soon as he approaches the first corner flag, you will see he is just going to barely give loss of scent, choose his direction of a corner. I'm going to feed line, and I know he's committing, and then I follow through. That was a pretty smooth corner for a first corner of a 2-hour track. The next corner that he has, he's going to actually circle around me, and that's coming up in just a second here. So here's his one of his next corners. He's going to get a cookie right before the track, so there's going to be a brief pause. When he gets to the actual corner, he's going to lift his head and start moving and searching for the next corner. Tracer's going to actually circle around me completely on this next corner, and you will notice that I face my dog the entire time. So this is loss of scent here. And this corner actually turns to the left, and he's searching to the right. So he's circling all the way around me, and I circle with him to make sure that I can watch everything. Now, when he picks up the track, I feed line right here, and then I follow behind. So I pretty much just stay in one place until he commits to his next leg. This is our last corner here. This corner goes to the right. He's going to pop over to the left first, and he's not quite going to circle all the way around me with this one, but I am going to continue to face him. So this is the incorrect direction first, and then he's going to swing back again to the right, and he's just going to do some double checking. So I'm facing my dog the entire time here. He's going to come back, hit the main line of the track here, and then he's going to find the corner. Does another quick check to the left, and I'm going to feed line, feed line, feed line. He's committing right there, and I'm going to follow through. And this is to the end. Thanks everybody so much for joining us. I hope this is a helpful video for you. Please contact me if you have any questions about this, but hopefully you'll have some time to practice, and this will help you practice by laying your own track and taking care of your dog and rewarding your dog.